Hi everyone, my name is Jane and I'm currently a second year um, in Deakin Medical School. Today I'll be talking about my journey in getting into medicine as an international student, and hope you guys enjoyed this short presentation. So a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Indonesia, and I came to Australia a few months after graduating high school to pursue my dream to become a doctor. The reason I go to Australia is that um, I see a lot of things in the Australian education system that is lacking in the Indonesian education system, and especially the Australian education system teaches us about the ethics, the law, and the professionalism um, in being a doctor, whereas that is not emphasized in the Indonesian education system, and that is why I came to Australia to become a better doctor, basically. So as a lot of people will ask why I chose medicine, um, I've always wanted to become a doctor since I was little, and I don't know why though, but I it's just my childhood dream. But then when I was in primary six, I got a project about HIV, and I felt like, um, and then I found out that the children, like the babies, get HIV directly from their mother without them even being born. Like that's the direct transmission, right? And then I felt like, oh, I need to help these kids, um, and that's when I started thinking about becoming a pediatrician. And then along my journey, I guess, towards getting into medicine, um, and during my undergrad, I found that I also have a special interest in anatomy. Like I majored in anatomy, so um, and people kept telling me to become a surgeon. So now I'm like kind of kind of still weighing which one, like pediatrician or surgeon, and probably maybe combining both of them, pediatric surgeon and pediatric surgeon. But I think I'll have to wait for my clinical years to find out what I really love and what I'm really passionate about. So that's a little bit about why I chose medicine. Um, but basically, I mean, why medicine? You just want to help people, I guess. So yeah. So this is my journey in a nutshell. So I graduated in from high school in Indonesia in June 2015, and then I sort of have like a gap year. It's not really a gap year, but because my high school ends mid-year, and then at that time Melbourne Uni only has one intake per year, which is at the start of um, the year for Bachelor of Biomedicine. So I have that like 8 month gap in between, and then I started my Bachelor of Biomedicine at the University of Melbourne in February 2016 and graduated in December 2018. And then now I'm currently at Deakin, and I'm second year. Yeah. So the step from being a high school student into Bachelor of Biomedicine, it was kind of easy because I got grades, like A-level grades higher than what was required. So it was like really easy. But then from Bachelor of Biomedicine, sorry, but from Bachelor of Biomedicine going into um, the Doctor of Medicine, it was really hard. Like um, it involved a lot of tears and hard work. but I'm really grateful for all of that. And now I'm going to talk about how I got into Deakin. So I applied to 6 universities in total, and because I'm an international student, I have to apply to each university instead of applying through GEMSAS. And I applied to Melbourne Uni, and then Monash, Deakin, University of Sydney, University of Western Australia, and Queensland. So among all those universities I applied to, I got accepted by University of Queensland with no interview, and I received interview offers from all the other unis except for University of Sydney, which basically just rejected me from the start off. From and then um, I attended the interviews from Melbourne Uni and Monash and Deakin, but not UWA, because UWA offered me an interview already in December 2018, and I was supposed to start medicine in January 2019, which is like, that's crazy, right? But I think that was the second round of offer. That's why it's that late. Anyway, um, I attended the interview for Deakin first, which is in early July, and then Melbourne Uni's interview is in September, and then Monash ones is in, I think it's in October or November in that same year, which is 2018. And then after the interview for Deakin, I got an email saying that I'm waitlisted, and because my score is not in the top 15, I think. And then for Melbourne Uni and Monash, after the interviews, I got the EODs for both of them. And then early in December 2018, I got an email saying that, oh, please send us more supporting documents that could possibly ramp up your ranking, and that email is from Deakin. And then a few weeks after that, I got an offer letter from Deakin, um, which is on the 13th of December 2018. And the thing is, I graduated from Bachelor of Biomedicine on 11th of December 2018, and I was supposed to go back to Indonesia on 14th of December 2018. So this offer letter from Deakin really came a day before I go back to Indonesia, and I guess that's a miracle. Yeah, so that's my little story. So moving on, that's my little story about my journey, I guess. And now I'm gonna talk about the differences between like applying as an international student and as a domestic student. I'll move myself down here, I guess. Yep. So a lot of people get confused because they have domestic students and they apply through different process, I guess. So here are some differences I think that are very important to know. So for the application process, domestic students do it through the GEMSAS, and for international students, we all have to apply directly to the individual universities. So I did my application through an agent, and that agent is the same agent that helped me apply for my biomedicine degree back in Indonesia. So they have a branch in Melbourne, and they helped me apply to all of the universities I applied to, except for Melbourne Uni, because ex-Melbourne Uni students have to apply directly by themselves to the university, and not through agent. And then for the interview, for domestic students, from what I've heard of, is that you only do one interview for all the universities you apply to. But for international students, you have to go to each university you apply to and be interviewed, I guess. Yeah. And that's for onshore students. But for offshore international students, I think you do it by Skype. So yeah, that's the interview process. And then for the number of places in the medical school, for Deakin, it's around 150 domestic students per year and only 10 to 15 international students per year. And for for most of unis, I guess, in Australia, there are 5 to 10% international students per cohort. So that's pretty small proportion compared to the whole cohort. And for GAMSAT and GPA cutoff scores, generally international students have lower requirement than the domestic students. But for the fees, we pay around like 7 to 8 times the amount of money that domestic students pay, and that is for the CSP and BMP domestic students. CSP being the Commonwealth supported places, and BMP being the bonded medical places. Yeah, I think that's the acronym. I might have to check again. I just Google them. And we're just a few $1,000 more expensive than the full fee paying domestic students. So for Deakin, and this is based on Deakin's website as of 2020 and 20 April 2020, the fees for domestic student is CSP and BMP $11,000-ish, and full fee paying $63,000 each. And that's per annum per year. And for international students, it's $70,000 per year. So you can see that's a kind of big difference, I guess. And I think that's a really important factor that we all have to consider about if an international student wants to go to Australia to study. And that's all, I guess, from me. Yeah. So if you want more information, subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'll move myself up here again. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and there will be lots of my friends doing videos like this as well. And for updates regarding our program, the Med Mentors program, follow our Instagram account at Med Mentors Deakin and like our Facebook page. We'll be posting stuff about our program there. And if you have questions, like specific questions about our program, or just want to chat to us, message us on Facebook or DM us on Instagram, and our team will get back to you as soon as possible. And if you have specific questions about my journey getting into medicine or my experience in med school, feel free to DM me on my Instagram account. Hope to see you guys joining our program. Bye.